We just lit the last candle of Chanukah, and we want to not only benefit from the light that we light, but rather to understand what do I need to take from this holiday. Because besides extra calories for the donuts, what are we taking from this holiday? So I have to take something very profound. Always, Chanukah will fall around the parashot of Miketz and Vayigash, where the biggest shock in human history is when we see how Yosef completely forgives the brothers, completely ignores the situation, and accepts them like as if nothing happened. Okay, so he made a little show. Okay, the show that he made, this production, was only for one thing, for them to do tshuva. That's it. The whole show of being mean to them and sending them over and then bringing Binyamin and having Binyamin framed and for only to do tshuva. I mean, there's a great question is, how do you know Hashem really accepts your tshuva? We're all Baal tshuvas. Doesn't matter even if you were born into a religious family, we're all Baal tshuva. How do you really know that Hashem really accepts your tshuva? You can walk around 60 years in your life and thinking everything's fine. And then you reach to the heavenly court and they'll tell you, you have a few open knots that you left behind. Rambam explains that there's a highest level of tshuva. Rambam calls it tshuvat mishkal, the tshuva of the scale. What does it mean? That how do you really know that Hashem forgave you? Hashem will put you in the same situation, exactly what you sinned, and if you don't repeat it, and you turn around, and you move over, then you know that first of all that Hashem accepted your tshuva, and that your tshuva is complete. Oto makom, oto isha, oto matzav, that's what Rambam says, it's called tshuvat mishkal. Yosef is not a simple individual, very wise. He came and he saw the brothers, he knew that he has no problem with the brothers. He wasn't holding any grudge, he wasn't holding any anger. He understood this is divine, that he was supposed to go to Mitzrayim. They were just tools, they were just messengers. They just made the going down to Mitzrayim more easier, so to say. He knew that even when he sat in jail for 10 years, he knew that it has nothing to do with his brothers, nothing to do with anything. He understood that the 10 years he sat in jail is for his own wrongdoing. We talked about it yesterday, that he understood that 10 years in jail was keneged, was corresponding to the 10 drops that came out of him when he got aroused with the wife of Potiphar. That's it, he sat in jail. 2 years, another addition, 2 years he sat in jail because he didn't have enough bitachon in Hashem, and he told Sarah Mashkim, V'zechartani, v'hizkartani. Remember me and mention my name. Oh yeah, so you get another 2 years. Yosef was not upset. He knew that even if the brothers sent him to the pit and to Mitzrayim, he was supposed to get there. Nothing happens without the approval of Hashem. So when he saw them, he had no issue with them. But why was he mean to them, so to say? Because he said, he saw above their head the Midat Adin hovering, and he saw that they have to do tshuva. And he said, let me help them do tshuva. So I will make a whole show, and in the end I'll make them do tshuva. And that's what happened. That's what really happened. What's more amazing in this parasha, and everybody's giving the credit to Yosef, why Yosef was forgiving the brothers. Everybody's missing the action that Yehuda did in this parasha. Can you imagine what Yehuda did here? Binyamin gets framed. He's standing in handcuffs. Technically, Yehuda could say, I don't care. Let him go to jail. Well, I'm going home. I did my part. And many people say, yeah, but you gave collateral. You gave your promise to your father. Whoa, I didn't promise anything. I promised that I'm going to guard him on the road. That's the promise that Yehuda did. The arvut, the collateral, the promise he made to his father was only to guard him on the road, on the journey. I control him if he's a thief or not. Anyways, the Midrash says that the brothers believed that Binyamin was really a thief. They were like, hey, listen, his mother's a thief, and he's a thief too. When we left out of Haran, what did Rachel do? She stole the idols of her father. So they said, the mother's a thief, he's a thief too. Now, when they took when Yosef hid the goblet in the sack, people think it's like a Kiddush cup. The goblet was something very, very unique. Yosef was also pretending that he looks in the goblet like a fortune and he sees the future, and he was pretending. And if you remember last week, he sat them all in a row according to the age. They were like, how does he know? He was pretending, he putting on a show, looking at the cup and saying, you sit here, you sit here. Nevertheless, it was all one show. Now, the brothers thought that Binyamin, first of all, they were like, he's a thief, the mother's a thief, the apple doesn't fall far away from the tree. But even if they wanted to judge him favorably, they said, listen, it was probably like the mother. Rachel saw the idols of her father, she took them to get rid of them. He thought that this goblet is some type of an idol, so he took it to get rid of it. But he's a thief, and that's a shame for our family. Let him rot in jail. But look what Yehuda does. Yehuda steps forward, and he says to Yosef, listen, I don't care that you are like Paro. You have three options here, mister. One option is you let us all go. Here's your goblet. Shalom. We're out. Let us go. The second option is you switch me. You take me, you let him go. And if you're not, I'm going to destroy this entire country. He comes with war. How do you know that he's approaching Yosef with war? Vayigash Yehuda. Vayigash means that he approached. What do you mean approach? You're already there. What do you mean approach? Yeah. He says, if you're not going to let us go, if you're not going to listen to me, I'm going to kill you and this entire country. He already sent the brothers and told them, look how many cities are in this country. They told him there are 12 cities. Yehuda says, I'll take 3, you take 9. We're destroying this country. And they would. And Yehuda told him, what do you think? You think that we're some farmers? We're the sons of Yaakov. These two little kids, Shimon and Levi, destroyed the whole city. I have no problem destroying you. Comes a big question, where does Yehuda come with this act of protecting his brother? They didn't show that when they threw Yosef into the pit. So we give a lot of credit to Yosef for forgiving them. Give some credit to Yehuda of saying, wait a minute, that's enough. You're not going to mess with my brother. I have a promise. The promise that Yehuda fought for is not the promise that he gave Yaakov, because according to the Midrash, the collateral, the guarantee that he gave Yaakov is that he's guarding him on the road. That's it. The Midrash says, Hadli olech achar achevel olech achar hadli. The rope goes after the bucket. If the bucket falls into the well, the rope falls with it. Listen, he went to Mitzrayim, he stole, that's not my problem. I let him go to be a slave. Yehuda does a brave act and he says, no. Take me. I'm stronger. I'm bigger. I'm wiser. I'm more experienced. Leave this little kid alone. Let this kid go to his father. I'll be a much better slave. And you think that Yehuda could imagine what it means to be a slave to Yosef? He didn't think that he's going to a country club. He says, I'm going to now be a slave to this guy. I don't know what they're going to do to me. But Yehuda fought for one thing. Yehuda had collateral, or he realizing that the guarantee that he was fighting for is not for the one he gave his father. It's the fact that we are all guarantors to each other. Kol Yisrael arevim ze bazeh. We are guarantors to each other. Right before Moshe Rabbeinu went into Eretz Israel, you know what he did? He gathered everybody. He divided the nation. Half of them he put on one mountain, Har Ebal, and another half he put on another mountain, Har Grizim. And he made a covenant. He made a brit. And he says, you are all collateral to each other. You all arevim ze bazeh. Which means that if you sin, I pay for that. You are in trouble, I suffer. You are down, I am down. Now you back each other up. Now, we see so many places that one suffers, or somebody does a mistake, the other suffers. You know, there's a famous Gemara in Tractate Shabbat where right before the destruction of the first temple, the Nebuchadnezzar started killing everybody, right and left and left and right. Kadosh Baruch Hu came to Malach Gabriel and he told him, go down and put a letter Taf on the foreheads of all the tzaddikim, so Midat Adin should not touch them. Came Midat Adin, the attribute of judgment, and said to Hashem, wait a minute, why are you protecting these rabbis and the tzaddikim? The nation are sinning because of them. They didn't rebuke them. They didn't tell them to go back on the right path. Hashem says, you know what, Midat Adin, I accept what you say, remove the Taf. And who was the first ones who died? All the rabbis, all the leaders of the generations. They were the first ones who went. Why? Because they didn't go to the generation and tell them, you're doing wrong. You're doing something wrong. So comes a big question. I'm sure you noticed that 3 times a day when we say vidui, what do we say? Today we didn't say Rosh Chodesh, but what do we say when we say vidui? Ashamno, bagadno, gazalno. Whoa. Why are you saying that ashamno? You ashamta. You did it. You say ashamti. Why are you putting me in here? Bagadno. I didn't treat anybody. Why are you telling bagadno? Why are you saying it plural? Say it single. Bagadati. Shikarti. Why are you saying bagadno? Whoa. Why are you bringing me into the plate? I didn't do anything. The Arizal explains, this is brought down in Shara Kavanot. You know why we say that? Because when I say sorry for everybody. I didn't steal, but somebody else stole. I have to say sorry for all the nation. We're all together. All of us are one thing. If you sin, it's like I sinned. That's why I have the obligation of coming to you and telling you, Habibi, it's Shabbat today, don't drive. Did you put tefillin on there? Did you light a menorah candle? You know, lehalacha, there's a question in halacha. This was brought down in Tractate Gittin when it's talking about that. There's a question in halacha. You come to my Shabbat meal. I already made kiddush. You came late. You didn't hear kiddush. You don't know how to read. You don't know how to do it. Can I do kiddush for you? I already said kiddush. I was already yotzeh. I already did asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav. Yeah, but you are obligated in the mitzvah. You can do it. I have to do the mitzvah for you. And this is the same in everything. With shofar. If you already heard the shofar, but somebody else didn't hear, you can say asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lishmo kol shofar, and I have to blow the shofar for you. Because you are obligated in the mitzvah, I have to do it too. If you didn't do it, I didn't do it. We are together. So the point to take to that Chanukah is the time when one can really get the idea or the energy or the power or the ability to be able to apply that. If I walk in the street and I see you sin and I don't say anything, I'm just as guilty. 2 weeks ago on the Shabbat when we were talking here, one word I was trying to say to people, if you see somebody sinning and you're just standing like this and you're not saying anything, the sin is exactly equal to you. You can't see a person sinning and saying, I don't want to get into this confrontation right now. It's not good for my job or my political position or to my relationship here. Let them figure it out. You're not allowed to do that. The same way that you see somebody not doing a mitzvah, did you put tefillin on today? Did you light the menorah candles? Did you do anything? I'm not allowed to, because if you're missing, I am missing. How do we really apply that in our life? Did you notice something very unique in the lighting of the menorah? Most people, they light the menorah on a table, they light it in a high place. We learned that before Chanukah, that you have to light the menorah not lower than 3 tfachim. Tefach is 8 centimeters, has to be at least 3 tfachim, and not more than 10 tfachim. 10 tfachim is 80 centimeters. Tefach is 8 centimeters, 10 tfachim is 80 centimeters. You can, some people ask, how do you do these big menorahs where they do everywhere? Halacha, you can do up until 20 amah. Amah is around the foot. But the right height is between 3 tfachim to 10 tfachim. According to Kabbalah, it's between 7 tfachim to 8 tfachim. 56 centimeters to 80 centimeters. And it's measured by the flame, not by the base of the Chanukah. So your Chanukah should not be higher than 80 centimeters. Okay, the Kabbalistic explanation for that is because the Shekhinah cannot penetrate into the world. You want the Shekhinah, the feminine aspect of the divine, to shine in the world, but mitachat la'asarat tfachim, beneath the level, the sea level, so to say, the asarat tfachim. It can go beneath 3 tfachim. The 3 tfachim correspond to the 3 klipot meot. Beneath the 3 klipot, between 3 tfachim, it's already in the klipa. You can't bring the light into the klipa. So it has to be above the klipa, 3 klipot meot, and it has to be higher. But the perfect place is between 7 tfachim to 10 tfachim, 56 centimeters to 80 centimeters. You know why? Move the Kabbalah for a second. You know why? Have you noticed how you look, or I don't know if you see yourself, but how somebody else looks when he lights the menorah? See how I had to bend to the menorah? Last week I got a bad back. It was hard for me to bend. I had to do all sorts of you have to bend down. You have to bend yourself down completely. You want to light somebody up? It's about you bending down. And the whole point of Chanukah is that I have to light everybody up. I already know how to put tefillin on. You don't know how to put tefillin on? I have to light your spark. You are in the dark. You are trapped in a klippah. I have to light that klippah. It's only if I bend down. I cannot light the menorah like that. You see how I bend down to the menorah? I literally had to bend down. Why? You cannot light somebody up if you're not bending down. And this is the idea of the message behind Chanukah. If you walk like that, you're not going to do anything in this world when the ego is a little bit too much. You only become productive. You can only light sparks of other people if you know how to humble yourself and you bend yourself down. Yosef HaTzadik bent down. Yehuda bent down. These are kings. You know what it means, Yehuda and Yosef? Can you imagine the encounter of Yehuda and Yosef? That was the first time. I mean, after all, we know that Yehuda is the father of Bet David. Mashiach ben David comes from Yehuda. Yosef is the father of Bet Yosef. Mashiach ben Yosef comes from Yosef. You know what that means, the encounter of both of them together? Can you imagine the friction between these two brothers seeing each other? Now Yosef is the king. This is the first time that Bet Yosef is above Bet Yehuda. There's a lot of deep messages in there, but look, both of them bow down. They lowered themselves. Yosef lowered himself in front of the brothers. He could throw them to the jail and get rid of them forever. Same thing with Yehuda. Sell Binyamin. Just take him. Who cares? He's a thief. He's a disgrace for the family. But no, Yehuda says, no. I have a guarantee. He's one of mine. If he goes down, I go down. If he goes to jail and he's going to be a slave, I'm going to suffer forever. I'm not worried about the promise I did to Yaakov. I'm worried about the promise I have in front of Hashem. We're all together. If I go down, you go down with me. You saw now Amnon that walked in. Where is he? And he told me, he heard my back was back last week. And he says, when you suffer, I suffer. I was like, good. I'm happy to hear that you acknowledge the fact that if I'm down, you are down. That's how it works. The sad thing is that we see each other that everybody's trying to put somebody else down. What did he say now, Chaim? Nobody's trying to put yourself down. But the reality is that, everybody's trying to step all over each other, to put somebody else down. You know the famous Hasidic story that I believe it was the kids of I think it was the Rebbe Marash or Rebbe Rasha, maybe you can correct me. One of them, the two brothers,
Maharash and his brother.
Yes, Rebbe Maharash and his brother, the older one was shorter, the younger one was taller. So the mother heard them playing in the garden, and the older one said he dig a hole in the ground. He told his younger brother, who was taller, step in the hole. And he says, why? So I can be taller than you. And the mother came and told him, don't put somebody down so you will be tall. Why don't you stand on a little bench and you'll be taller? So don't step on somebody so you would look better. Rather, make yourself look better, and that's it. So we see that Bet HaMikdash was destroyed by Sinat Chinam. What are we celebrating now? Just imagine in this war, Bet HaMikdash was not hurt. I mean, they made a little party there and they destroyed things, but the Bet HaMikdash didn't move. So we have to build the Bet HaMikdash, and the Bet HaMikdash can only be built with Ahavat Israel, with unconditional love. So what if you're better than me, you're more famous than me, you have more money than me, your wife is more attractive? Who cares? But we're brothers. We are guarantors to each other. You suffer, I suffer. If I can see you suffering in any type of a way, and I don't care about it, something's wrong with me. So Chanukah comes and tells me, hey, you have to be a lamplighter. You have to start lighting up the world. Because if you know Aleph and Bet, and somebody else doesn't know, you teach them Aleph. You teach somebody what you know. But you can only do that when you bend down. You have to bend down completely. This is a real bending down. Because 80 centimeters is like this, and I don't care how short you are, you still have to bend down. So we have to learn how to bend down. If we all learn how to bend down in this world, then this world will look a much better place. Bending down is the other words of saying of unconditional love. I like you. I don't care where you came from. I don't care if you're Sephardi or Ashkenaz. I don't care if you wear a black suit or a blue suit. I don't care. We're Jews. We're brothers. We're from the same place. You're down. I'm down. Let me elevate you. I'll be up myself too. We're all together. If you apply that, I can guarantee to you we're going to be seeing the candle lighting, the real menorah lighting in Bet HaMikdash very soon with our own eyes.
Amen.